everyone, Milo's been home with us for 6 months now, and I wanted to share with you some of our favorite puppy essentials that we've used so far. I will also link all the items in the description below. Starting off, I wanted to share the puppy setup we had for Milo. First, we have the crate. This was the one item that I was really unsure of initially. It just looked really ugly and it also felt like a jail to me. But our breeder gave us this crate, so we decided to try it out. And now I just can't recommend crates enough for all new puppy owners. They say that dogs are den animals, and I definitely see that with Milo and his crate. It's literally his sanctuary. He feels safe and comfortable in it, and it's also where he sleeps through the night. This is also the only place that he will never ever soil. This crate played a huge part in our success with potty training. In addition to the crate, we also got this playpen for Milo. I spent probably the most time looking for the perfect playpen. I finally found this one, which I love. It's very versatile. I can change up the space as needed. It's also very safe because it was originally built for babies. I also love that it only has vertical bars, which was one of my top requirements because this prevents puppies from climbing over the playpen, which can be really dangerous. This playpen setup has really been a lifesaver for us. The first 2 to 3 months that Milo was home required 24/7 monitoring, and when we're busy, we were able to leave him in his playpen knowing that he's safe but still had a pretty comfortable space. Because he stayed in his playpen, we actually didn't have any furniture damage and avoided a lot of unwanted accidents. Completing the puppy setup is this waterproof mat that we placed under his playpen. It's very easy to clean. You can just throw it in the washing machine and it comes out like new. We used it initially for potty accidents, but still keep it here for whenever he eats stinky or messy foods. So here you have it, the puppy setup that we've had for Milo since day one. Now onto some potty training essentials that you should have prior to bringing your puppy home. Unless your puppy came home potty trained, be prepared to clean up accidents. Have some sort of urine cleaner ready to combat odor and stain. We've gone through a few brands and have yet to find one that actually prevents Milo from resoiling the same area. But this one has worked the best in cleaning up the mess on both our hardwood floor and carpet. Since we don't have a yard, we chose to potty train indoors before Milo completed his vaccines. If you also choose to potty train indoors, just make sure to have some sort of indoor potty training solution. Potty pads worked very well for us, but you can also go with options like disposable grass or bark patches. And a bonus essential, also a reminder, just stay patient. If you're just getting started, hang in there. It definitely does get better. Now to the fun part, our favorites for going out on walks and some tips that we've learned along the way. We started leash training Milo a couple weeks after he came home. For smaller dogs like Milo, we really recommend using a harness for leash training in early stages of walking so it doesn't hurt them when they pull and struggle with you on the leash. Another tip is also to go up a size for that very first harness, as they just grow up so fast, and by the time they're ready to actually go outside, the sized up harness will be a perfect size. Here we have Milo's first harness in a size small to his current one, a size large, which is actually still a little bit big for him. For reference, Milo is currently around 22 pounds. For leashes, we've also tried out so many different types of leash. We started off with these $1 cheap leashes for the initial at-home training. I really recommend everyone doing this because the first few weeks of leash training was definitely the hardest since he was really not used to it. He hated it and was also teething at the time, which meant that he just wanted to chew up these leashes whenever he could. And it's okay because they're just $1, so we kind of let him have at it. When he was finally good at leash training and could go out, we upgraded to this leather rope one. It's a nice leash, but was not built to control leash pulling dogs. I'd recommend pretty leashes like these for pups that are already pretty good at leash walking. Then we found this thick one from Zippy Paws, which is currently our favorite and go-to. It's made out of rope for mountain climbing, so it's very sturdy and very easy to handle. This is the one we'd recommend for those still in the early stages of leash training like us, or even in any stage, we recommend this leash. We also tried out retractable leashes. This one has raving reviews on Amazon and it's very nicely built and very convenient, but for our current stage, they're a little too flimsy and hard to control. Milo is still not an excellent walker, so we're worried that if not careful, the sudden retraction could become a dangerous hazard that would cut and hurt both him and us. If you're looking for a collar, we generally recommend this one from Wild One. We had previously purchased him a leather one that had his name engraved on it, and it was so beautiful, but was not as functional, and Milo always just looked very uncomfortable wearing it. Then we finally found this one, which is waterproof, odor-proof, and also washable. But most importantly, Milo doesn't mind wearing it at all. We got his in gray, but it comes in a lot of different cute colors. Moving on is my favorite part of the Essentials, grooming supplies. I like to keep Milo smelling good at all times. We bathe Milo almost every week or every other week depending on how smelly he gets. His coat is basically a mop outdoors, so we've gone through about 3 bottles of different brands of shampoo now. This one from Paws and Pals is so far my favorite. It makes him smell amazing and also leaves his coat extra soft. For days in between baths and also after walks, we like to use these grooming wipes. It smells pretty good, gets the job done, and doesn't irritate his skin, so something good to have on hand at all times. After baths, or even in between baths, we also like to use a bit of this Cowboy Magic detangler. It makes a huge difference to his coat and just makes it really easy to brush out and extra shiny and soft. If you have a doodle or poodle type of breed like Milo, then a slicker brush is a must to have on hand. We started getting him used to being brushed the day he got home with this very tiny one that I think I got from Walmart for about $2. His coat didn't actually need to be brushed at the time, but I wanted him to get used to it right away. As his coat got longer and actually needed some brushing, I got this one for $10 on Amazon. It gets the job done and works, but recently started to lose some pins. So weeks after contemplating, I splurged on the very much raved about Chris Christensen brush. This brush is around $65 and it is a bit of a splurge. I just got it in the mail this morning, so I can't give a very accurate review or recommendation yet, but upon first use, it's pretty nice and gets the undercoat much better than the $10 brush. If you guys are interested in getting a review of this brush, let me know in the comments below. On Milo's very first vet checkup, our vet told us to take extra note of his ears and to make sure to always keep them clean to avoid infections because he has very hairy ears. So after reading tons of reviews online, I got these ear wipes and they are indeed amazing. They smell really good and gets all of the gunk out of his ears easily. Another item I highly recommend. The last items on my list, and also probably the most important ones, is puppy first aid. I got this antiseptic spray on a whim, never thinking I need it until Milo had a little minor accident and tore his carpal pads. I put some of this antiseptic spray on after cleaning the wound up, and within a few days it had healed completely. If you plan on cutting your puppy's nails at home by yourself, then you could very much run into a situation like me where you cut off a little too much and could not stop the bleeding. Our vet recommended we get this styptic powder to stop the bleeding, and it works like magic. It will sting him a little, he's not gonna like it, but it'll keep your house from looking like a crime scene. Finally, for my very last recommendation and 2 cents is to get pet insurance. I've always had people tell me vet bills are expensive, but didn't realize how expensive it really was until I got Milo. I never want to be in a situation where I can't pay up for his medical bills, so pet insurance just for the peace of mind is worth it to me. We'd also love to hear from other puppy owners what some of your favorite puppy essentials are, so share with us in the comments below.